The 11th installment of H.B. Reed's One Book turned their pages towards Etched in Sand at the Library Theater. This year's author, Regina Calcaterra.
It's a memoir that shares with readers the story of my siblings and I and how we were born to the same mother who had 5 kids by 5 different men. My mother was mentally ill and she self-medicated through drugs and alcohol. So the men that ended up being our fathers didn't stick around after any of us were born. So here was this woman who was not able to take care of herself, let alone the 5 kids that she had. So what she would do is she would find us all these places to live on Long Island in New York, but abandon us there for weeks at a time. So we were these 5 little kids that would be abandoned in all these different places, and we had to survive on our own. We had to steal food to eat, and when she would come back in our lives, she was abusive. So the story is about how these 5 children managed to survive in the middle of suburbs, but living in abject poverty, and did our best not to let anyone know how it was that we were living, because we were so fearful of being picked up by the authorities and put into foster homes. Because there was 5 of us, we were always separated, and that's what we didn't want. So the story is about how these 5 kids did whatever we possibly could to stay together for as long as we could, until it was too late and the authorities found out.
Wonderful story, great woman, you know, to come through all of this with brothers and sisters, to go to school as a kid, you know, where you're wearing the same clothes, you know, you're not sure you've eaten. I mean, it's a great book. I hope everyone reads it. I know that it's well worth it.
Accessing education, once again, is that bridge that goes from nowhere to success.
I finished college in 4 years, which now isn't something that always happens, and then worked for a few more years, and then later on actually got into law school at nighttime while I was working for the day. And then by the time I was 30, when I passed the bar, I realized for the rest of my life all I have to do is work one job. So the fact that I went from being a homeless foster kid and stealing food to eat to a law school graduate and being able to practice law, just by the time I was 30, I thought that was a tremendous milestone. So by the time I reached that point in my life, things had turned around.
As you know, Regina's book is from 25, 30 years ago. So yes, the issue has gotten worse, but the population has gotten larger. So I don't know that it's, you know, it helps push it into the forefront, but we really need to do more to be proactive to eliminate it, as well as addressing the current issues that we have with what we have now.
30 years ago in Long Beach, they created great programs for homeless people, and what did it do but attract a lot more homeless people, and they gave up the programs because they couldn't afford them.
Any education to get sustainable life skills and job and employment skills, that's our #1 focus with them.
H.B. Reed's One Book thanks their continued sponsored support and looks again next year when H.B. Reed's One Book. For Surf City Highlights, this is Matt Liffering.